Hey guys, what's going on? What's going on? Everybody is doing great today. It's Sunday. Just stopped by Shotwell transfer station right in the middle of the aftermath of Hurricane Florence. Florence really wasn't that bad around here, but east of here got hammered. So stop by the transfer station, make sure they're going to be good to open tomorrow. Like I said, we got just a little bit of wind. We have had a fair amount of rain, probably 7 or 8 inches of rain here in the Raleigh area. We've had a couple trees down just because we've gotten so much rain this year. They get heavy, the ground's soft, a little bit of wind, they just topple them out. So we have had some damage. I'm sure we will get some storm recovery damage too. When I was over here, I got to thinking about, should you use a landfill or a transfer station? And there's a couple good reasons to use a transfer station over a landfill. A lot of times your transfer stations are more expensive than your landfills because the stuff has to be transferred, hence their name, to a landfill for disposal. So that is one advantage to using the landfill, but that's about the only advantage. Normally transfer stations are closer to where your job is at. They are they're generally so that's going to save you a lot of time there. There's going to be more of them than the landfill. Normally there'll be multiple transfer stations for every one landfill. The biggest reason to use a transfer station over a landfill is there's a lot less nails you're going to hit. You're not going to get stuck, and again, it's closer. So a lot of people don't realize the amount of nails. Like a construction debris landfill, you'll be plugging tires daily, at least weekly, if you're going to a C&D landfill all the time. You're gonna get stuck. That's worse on maintenance too. All that mud that accumulates up underneath that vehicle, it's not good. There's more of a chance of cutting down a transmission line. Like if you're using a Suzu truck, there's a cooling line that runs on the very bottom of your radiator or transmission cooler. That line, there can be a piece of debris sticking up out of the ground. Your truck will run over that debris, it'll pop that board up, and it'll wedge itself in that transmission line. It'll actually cut that line. It'll drain out all the transmission fluid inside the truck. It's like a $200 line too. So you have a $200 line you have to replace. You have transmission fluid that's spilled everywhere. You've got the potential to screw your transmission up. We've never had a problem with it, at least not in the short term. Maybe in the long term we have. But and you got the downtime. So that's all a possibility with a construction debris landfill. So if at all possible, use a transfer station. Now, sometimes transfer stations are ridiculously priced, and maybe you don't want to because it's not worth paying $80 a ton with a 1 ton minimum when you go to the landfill and pay $45 a ton and not have a minimum. But otherwise, if it's close, if you're 35 at the landfill and you're 42 at a transfer station like we are, then we always try and use a transfer station. The only times we use the landfill is if for some reason we're in an area where we're in a hurry, the landfill's closer, we need to just go ahead and get the stuff dumped, or it's because the transfer stations have closed. Our landfills stay open later than our transfer stations on Saturdays. So use transfer stations when you can. You're going to have a lot less maintenance problems. You're going to have a lot less nails to plug. You're going to have a lot less downtime, and you're going to get stuck a lot less in your truck. Talk to everybody real soon. Hey, we're doing great here in Florence. I appreciate the messages. We've gotten emails, gotten phone calls, gotten responses to YouTube videos. Everything's great here. FEMA, we are a FEMA contractor. We're set up with them. We haven't heard that we're doing anything yet, but we might, if we have the capacity, we might make our way east. If we have to go buy a truck, if it's worth it, if there's enough business, we'll go out and buy a truck just so we can keep up with the stuff in FEMA. Could rent one, but we'll see. Hurricane wasn't as windy as initially thought. I don't think it's done as much damage as initially thought, but there are areas, New Bern, North Carolina is one I can really think of, which is right there on the Neuse River, completely underwater, flooded. Now that area floods with a bad rain. The Neuse River runs over. Now the problem is the Neuse River's actually that water is going to continue to rise over the next couple of days. It's actually going to get worse before it gets better. So we might be heading east to do some work. If we do, we'll definitely use some YouTube videos from down there. Otherwise, we will check in with you next week. Hope everybody's having a great day today. Talk to you soon.